Hello and welcome back to this channel. I hope you're having the most amazing day. It is Tuesday, November 4th, and we are gonna dive right in. My name is Mandy Magnan. I'm an actress, writer, producer, and director in Toronto, as well as a film reviewer, a YouTuber, commentary for everything It Ends With Us, and pop culture. Today we're gonna get into a few things with It Ends With Us, as well as Wayfarer. Blake Lively's filed something in the court. Shocker. And Wayfarer has just announced their new movie coming up with one of my favorite actors ever. And there's a couple other things just like floating around in the entertainment world that we're going to get into. Rihanna and A$AP Rocky were out last night. A little bit of Halloween drama stirring around with Taylor Swift. I just want to talk about that quickly, and some things happening with SOPHORA. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Grab that emotional support lip gloss, baby. You are in frame with Mandy Magnan. Let's just get it right out of the way straight away so we can move on, okay? Blake Lively has filed in the courts another motion to compel. Yes, don't worry, it's not another sanction. She's already filed 9 of those, okay? So 9 sanctions. I'm sure there's going to be more because we're still missing sanctions on Justin Baldoni, as well as, I believe, on Jennifer Abel. So she could still come back, and Jed Wallace. So there's still about 3 or 4 more that she can do. But she did file a motion today to compel, so we're just going to go over it real quick, and then we're going to get into all the other stuff. She is obsessed with these signal messages, okay? So, you know, they've been going back and forth for a long time over what was privileged messages, what wasn't, what's this. So I guess after a whole bunch of meet and confers, Blake Lively is still saying she hasn't been given everything. So this is the letter that was filed yesterday in the courts. She's asking for a continued non-compliance. So she's saying the Wayfarer defendants have continued non-compliance with the court's prior orders requiring the Wayfarer defendants to produce a categorical privilege log for any signal communications withheld for privilege by September 8th, the signal privilege log. 7 weeks and 4 privilege logs later, the Wayfarer defendants still have not produced a compliant signal privilege log. Accordingly, Ms. Lively herein seeks an order compelling the Wayfarer defendants to produce, and then everything is redacted, which I find a little bit ironic considering she's filing motions of sanctions for Melissa Nathan for improper redaction. So I wonder if these are actually proper redactions, but I digress. On September 6th, in the response to the court's latest order on the issue of privileged material, the Wayfarer defendants produced their second amended signal privilege log, which broke signal communications into 51 categories and identified 217 total parent documents. In doing so, the Wayfarer defendants did not address Ms. Lively's prior concerns with respect to their description of the documents withheld. Instead, they effectively repackaged the very same description that Ms. Lively previously identified as deficient. The second amended signal privilege log also failed to identify the many withheld attachments to these communications. Of the 51 categories, almost half, 20, involve signal communications with no attorney present. Counsel discussed each of these issues during a meet and confer on October 8, 2025, after which the Wayfarer defendants agreed to produce a document-by-document privilege log by October 14th. The fourth attempt at preparing a privilege log, now in the traditional form of a document-by-document privilege log, fails once more. To begin, the third amended signal privilege log fails to identify the sender or recipients for each communication as required under Section 7A. Lumping participants into each category as the Wayfarer defendants have, that's what I think is kind of strange, because she says that at the beginning of this, she says they didn't say who was in communication, like there's no sender or recipient. But then it says lumping participants into each category. So I wonder if, I don't know. As the Wayfarer defendants have failed to demonstrate who was communicating in each document, which is critical in assessing the propriety of each claim or privilege. That aside, the overwhelming majority of documents identified on this log plainly are not privileged and must be produced. At this time, Ms. Lively is already prejudiced by having been deprived of non-privileged signal communications to use during depositions. Accordingly, Ms. Lively respectfully requests that no further delay be countenanced and the subject communications be produced immediately. At this point, I feel like they might just be gaslighting her, because just what is going on here? Give the frigging privilege logs. I mean, unless they are privileged, like unless they must think that there's a reason not to give them over and that she has no right for them. You can't really tell because all of the stuff is kind of redacted that you would need. But what she's asking for is that the Wayfarer defendant should be ordered to produce all redacted. She says that they're not work product doctrine and that they need to do it. She also is asking the Wayfarer defendant should be ordered to produce that was attached to signal communication. So who knows what that is. It is well settled that non-privileged documents sent to attorney are not automatically cloaked with privilege. So I feel like that has to do probably with communications with Brian Freeman, just assuming. But again, can't really tell because it's redacted. Then on the third one, she says the Wayfarer defendant should be ordered to produce all signal communications concerning blank. And I'm sure it ends with us or Wayfarer or something, because then it says a media campaign is not a litigation strategy. So I think she wants all the signal communications that have to do with the PR people and the crisis managers. 4, she wants the Wayfarer defendants be ordered to produce documents for an in-camera review for those remaining 12 documents where there is attorney presence, as identified in Appendix D. Ms. Lively respectfully requests that the court order the Wayfarer defendants produce these documents to the court for an in-camera review so that Judge Lyman can look over them and let them know what is and isn't privileged. To begin, despite 4 opportunities to cure their deficient descriptions, the Wayfarer defendants still failed to describe the communications at issue with sufficient particularity to enable Ms. Lively to assess the claim of privilege. It kind of keeps going on like that, but basically she's just saying she wants an in-camera review. She wants all of these documents. Nothing's privileged to her, and yeah, she wants them pretty much. I just think at this point the Wayfarer parties are probably playing hardball, and not only that, they know like what is privileged or not, and even though if they might be playing a little cat and mouse right now, this is going to be quite interesting, because what if they do the in-camera review and there's like literally nothing there? I remember when they were saying this about Brianna Butler and or Brianna Case and Butler, you know, those 2 girls. It's slipping my mind the names right now. Brianna Case and Butler. Brianna Butler, Case Coslow. Those girls, right? Yeah, those women that worked for TAG and Jonesworks, I believe, they did the same thing, and some of their conversations were about their dad on Christmas and their dog and stuff. And so we'll see here. But yeah, Blake Lively is filing motions to compel. So I'm sure in the next week or 2, it's going to be very interesting while we all await summary judgment as well as motion on the pleadings. And the judge needs to come back with all of the answers to the sanctions before the deadline starts for the appeal, because he wants it kind of all wrapped in together. So I think in the next week or 2, we're going to get some answers somewhere for sure. Wayfarer made a super cool new announcement about their new movie coming up. It's an exciting news. I would say it's so exciting, and I'm most excited for my favorite actor that they've cast. We're thrilled to announce Thomasin McKenzie and Ansel Elgort are set to star in Dinner with Audrey. I already know I butchered those names, y'all. You don't need to tell me in the comments, okay? I'm sure I did. From Wayfarer Studios, Hyde Park Entertainment, and Mad Chance Production. Directed by Abe Sylvia and written by Kara Holden, the film is based on the true story of the remarkable 40-year friendship between Audrey Hepburn, the timeless screen and style icon, and legendary French designer Hubert de Givenchy. beginning with one magical fashion-filled night in Paris, baby. Package to be presented at this year's America Film Market. And then there was my comment. Yeah, Michael Shannon. That's what I wanted to get to. So they have the casting. And then when I saw Michael Shannon, oh, I'm so excited. He is one of my favorite actors. I feel like he's one of the most underrated, but super premiumly in a word, super duper talented. I love Michael Shannon. I met him before, actually, when I had my very first screening for my very first short film, The Audition. I was working at a hotel in Toronto. He was here filming something. I was like working behind the bar, doing my thing, and I was like, what can I get for you? And it's Michael Shannon. And he's like, just there. And then I turned around, and I never get like starstruck and stuff. And I was like, I just turned around and I was like, and then I left I remember I didn't even get him what he ordered or nothing. I like left and went to go talk to my friend who's a security guard, who's also an actor. And I was like, that's Michael Shannon. And he was like, I know. Why aren't you talking to him? I was like, I don't know. I did that. And I went, we talked. Actually, he was there for a few days. So we talked all the time. He was supposed to come to my screening, but then he was like late on set. I haven't talked to him since. He was so awesome. I just love his work. I love his character work. I can go on and on and on about how extremely uber talented I think Michael Shannon is. And he's such a cool, chill, humble dude at the same time. I can't wait for this movie. I'm so excited for Wayfarer, and I'm super excited for Michael Shannon. Last night, A$AP Rocky accepted his Style Icon Award, and Riri was there. And if y'all been following me, you know I love me some Riri. The first time I was ever on TMZ doing a little creator spotlight, I got to talk about Rihanna and A$AP and how she always stands by her man, and we ride for Riri. I love Rihanna. I have since like day one. Okay, I am a ride or die for Riri. But he was at the 2025 CFDA Awards. And oh my gosh, they look so cute. They're like goals, okay? The way he looks at her and treats her and smiles to her, I mean, they just look so good. She did say she just had a baby girl, so she's a little bit postpartum. And even in his award speech, he said like, you know, we did this, like we got it, I did it, you know. It's just so cute, and it's just like, I don't know, to me, kind of a reminder to like wait for the dude that looks at you the way like A$AP looks at Rihanna. I love them. I love Rihanna, and I love seeing her out. But the way he was looking at her, no more babies, okay? We need some music, Rihanna. Get away from her. No, I'm just kidding. That was really cool. And, you know, it was like light and fun, and they're celebrating. And I just love that for her. And I love the journey that she's been on. And yeah, I mean, amazing. So I just want to bring that up for a second. Okay, who is catching all of this drama right now with Swizzy? Taylor Swift? Yeah, okay, so the album drops, right? Let's just do a little quick recap. The album dropped, and I guess there was a lot of songs that had some aggressions in it. And the one song with Ophelia, there were some lyrics that kind of people insinuated were towards Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend. Her name is KAYLA Nicole. She's beautiful. She's a baddie, okay? I didn't know anything about KAYLA Nicole until Chris Brown brought this baddie on stage a few months ago, and it was like she was giving the energy right back. I was like, who is this girl? Like, wow, she's a beautiful girl. So a lot of people were insinuating that the song Ophelia definitely had to do with KAYLA Nicole, because there's some lyrics in the song that is like, she was always on her phone, you were just a prop, now look, I love you better. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but you see what I'm saying? Okay, so then out of nowhere on Halloween, KAYLA Nicole drops her Halloween costume, and my jaw was on the floor because I knew immediately what this was about. KAYLA Nicole recreated one of my favorite jams forever, okay? From the time it dropped to today, okay? She drops a music video, as well as a full Halloween getup to Toni Braxton's He Wasn't Man Enough for Me. The shade. For me personally, I thought that that was like a pretty good clapback. It was subtle, but it was like mic drop moment. And sometimes you just have to check people. Sometimes you just gotta, reply. Now, I didn't think that was going to cause such a massive stir online as it did, but now there's a lot of people saying that she went too far. Taylor doesn't deserve it. It's bullying, it's picking, it's this. And I just think, like, if you're going to drop someone in your album, coded, jab them, go after someone in your album, go after an ex, they have every right to go lower. I'm sorry, like, you go low, she went lower. I thought it was a very classy way to say something without saying it, and it was very well done. So if you haven't seen He Wasn't Man Enough for Me, the video, the music video where she popped out, it was really good. But what do you guys think? Do you think that this was actually like a dig at Tay Swizzy, or you think it was just like a Halloween costume? I do need to tell you that last year she did Sierra. So, I mean, she has a thing about doing like iconic musicians. I just thought it was like perfect timing. Even if she was preparing that for a while, the timing was chef's kiss, honestly. And while we're just talking about Tay Swizzy, it should be noted that Ken's with the sparkly spatula, who is amazing. I saw one of her TikToks today, and she went to the court where that guy, Justin, he was arrested for jumping over Travis Kelce's fence. All the rumors went crazy about how he was there to serve papers on behalf of Justin Baldoni, even though Justin Baldoni at the LA airport was like laughing at it, was like, no, that was crazy. That wasn't me. He was in the court today, and Ken's went, but she didn't get any information because they bring them into another room. So she did ask for the transcripts and any details that she can get. So within like 1 to 3 days, we should be finding out if this guy, what he was doing at Travis Kelce's house, and then we could put those rumors to bed. Now, I made a video yesterday. It was very short and sweet about how the mainstream media, legacy media, is just spewing out so much inaccurate misinformation on the It Ends With Us trial. A lot of them, and like very strange timing, that within the last 24 to 48 hours, it is just plastered everywhere that the case is over. Justin Baldoni lost. Blake Lively. I mean, I'm even right now looking at an Entertainment Tonight video, and the title is Blake Lively Emerges Victorious in $400 million Battle. That was posted 1 day ago on their YouTube. So it seems like maybe one story just went out, and now every single place is just re-spewing all the same things. It was very interesting, and I'm wondering where this all came from. Like, why in the last 24 hours are they talking about it, and how is it possible that they've got it so wrong? I mean, it is so wrong. Just to clarify what happened back in June, some of the counterclaim was dismissed with and without prejudice, and they could have refiled. They chose not to. Then the New York Times came in with a final judgment and asked for a final judgment. However, Blake Lively has asked for all of these sanctions as well. Blake Lively's people came and wrote a letter to the judge saying, yeah, you can give them final judgment, get them out of here. However, when it comes to like the appellate courts and appeals, we would like our sanctions dealt with first, so that if there is going to be appeals, we can do it all together. And the judge kind of agreed with that. So right now the appeal timer is actually not even going, and it won't be going until the judge rules on all of these motions for sanctions. Then there will be a 30-day time for the Wayfarer people to appeal. So nothing is quite over yet, and the trial date isn't until March of 2026. So there's still a ways to go, as well as motion on the pleadings and summary judgment. I mean, now we're kind of getting into like the real thick of it, I feel like, where it's just going to be head to head about evidence and discovery, and experts and depositions are going to come out. So I don't know. I just found it very odd that this legacy media, who a lot of them have lawyers, a lot of them have people on their team, could really make headlines like this. I just find it very distasteful, and it makes me question now. I mean, I've been questioning this kind of stuff for the last couple of years, but it really makes me question, what else do we get fed by mainstream news organizations, media? It all seems like paid propaganda, and it's so extreme. And when you see something like this that's just such misinformation and so inaccurate, it just makes me think, what else do they feed us? And they spray everywhere so that you're being fed this complete lie. I'm just doubting right now a lot of these publications, because they just got it so wrong. And I can tell that it was planted, because it was everywhere, the same story, same headline. So without doing any research or going into it yourself, I don't know. I was bitter yesterday when I was seeing all of these headlines, because these were coming from news organizations. I mean, there's videos still going around today that I saw that was complete fake news. And if they can do it with this case, what are they doing it, with everything else? Have you guys heard about all of the stuff happening right now with Sephora? Sephora is receiving a huge, massive backlash right now online after dropping their newest ad with Mariah Carey about Christmas. Now, I think the ad is kind of strange, right? Okay, let's talk about it. So the ad dropped the same day that SNAP benefits were expiring for 40 million Americans, 20 million of them supposedly kids, right? So not a good time. A lot of people were talking about boycotting big companies. A lot of people talking about boycotting companies that support isn't real. A lot of people talking about, in general, canceling Christmas and or sizing it down a little bit, right? Not supporting the consumerism of it. Sephora comes out with this ad with Mariah Carey. It's a big commercial ad where she comes in and there's an elf stealing from her. And then he says he needs to steal from her because he needs money for therapy, something like that, right? She says, you can't cancel Christmas. Pretty much people are saying it's a mocking them, mocking the people that want to cancel Christmas or can't afford Christmas, right? And I get it. It's pretty distasteful. The entire ad was done very wrong. But I think advertisers now want backlash. I know that sounds weird, but when you think of all the ads that have come out lately, right? So you had Elf Cosmetic come out and they used that comedian Matt, the white guy who does a lot of work. I can't think of his name right now. What's this guy's name? Matt Rife. So Elf uses Matt Rife. Everyone gets really mad because Matt Rife had a joke in his opening line on his first Netflix special about domestic violence. The ladies were mad because you're a cosmetic company and you're trying to sell us the guy who makes fun of domestic violence. Preach, right? Then you have the Sydney Sweeney ad came out and they got a lot of slack because, her jeans are blue and white is perfect, and they got a lot. But their sales went up. And I feel like companies now are going with, they want a rise out of people because the people who create the rise is going to create the supply. It's if you create controversy, the people who do support you or the people who are against the viewpoint of the people who are trying to ban you, they like that because they're going to get a big hit no matter what. People will be talking about them, people will that. So I don't know if this was done on purpose or if they thought that everyone was just going to love it because it's Mariah Carey. But the backlash is really severe. The commercial, in my opinion, was super tone deaf. I could have wrote a better commercial for them. I mean, there are so many ways to go about like the Elf and Mariah and still like be for the people. So it's very interesting because at a time where there is, you know, the Great Depression, or when people are financially suffering, or when the world is a little bit dark, right? Cosmetics is something that always stays. No one ever cuts out cosmetic, because back in the day, a woman buying and putting on a red lipstick would just make her feel so good. And beauty and cosmetics is usually something that goes up in this weird way, right? As the world goes a little bit down. And I don't know why Sephora would then make fun of people who are struggling, or I don't know, or like people that, I don't know. It's a very interesting commercial. I don't know if I can play it here, but I urge you to look it up and watch it and see for yourself. I mean, it's a little, you know, it's not even, I would say, on the nose. It's very politically driven. And now this photo of Mariah is surfacing, and that makes me very kind of on the side of the people that want to boycott Sephora. And I'm going to put it just real big on the screen here so you can see it. But it's Mariah Carey with Benjamin. Yeah. And she says, "We can call my relationship with Isn't Real a love affair." Huh. And now I'm finding out that Sephora actually really supports companies that have ties with Isn't Real. So y'all know how I feel about that. For me to boycott Sephora, I think is pretty easy, because you can get some of the same cosmetics directly through those companies or at your pharmacy or really anywhere else. But I just thought that this year especially, the people generally, like as a mass, aren't having it. They're not buying into the conspiracy theories. They're not buying into the BS that they're just being spoon-fed. They're not buying into the propaganda. And I feel like as a whole, humanity is coming together a lot more. And yeah, I don't know. This is a very interesting time to live in. It's a very interesting timeline that we're all in. But what do you think about this boycott for Sephora? Do you think they knew what they were doing when they put out that commercial? Do you think that they expected a bad response? Or is, like the saying goes, any publicity is good publicity? What do you think about that? I'm very interested to know, because it's all over my For You page on TikTok. I kind of can't escape it right now. So I just wanted to talk to you about it real quick. The commercial is just something. Like the ad, I watched it when it first dropped and I was like, what? But I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Go and look at it. And then, yeah, come back and drop your comments, because I'm very interested to see, is this just like another reach from people? Or, yeah, should the companies start getting boycotted that support certain things and are mocking in your face, literally, you know, most of the people out in the world right now? I don't know. You let me know. But honestly, that's it, y'all. That's all I pretty much have for you today. That just like sums it up of everything that I've been thinking about and going over. We'll see what happens again this week in the court. We should be getting some things popping in the next week or two. I believe November 12th is a big deadline for the summary judgment. I think they meet with the judge on December 6th. Stephanie motherfucking Jones still has to refile to see if she's going to, of course, have a reply for Jennifer Abel's counterclaim, for Jennifer Abel's amended complaint. So yeah, we'll see. But drop your comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Are you excited for Wayfarer's new movie? What do you think about Sephora? What do you think about everything? Okay, Mariah Carey, all of it. I hope you're having the best day. If you're not part of the membership yet, we do have a private members group that speaks more about like mindfulness, life experience, everything like that. And yeah, it's like at the lowest tier. So join us there, as well as thank you so much for always supporting this channel and engaging. And I hope you're having a great day. I will see you tomorrow on Hump Day, baby. I love you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.